Welcome into our first lesson. And throughout this series, we're going to be building a really cool inventory management application together. And I'm going to take you through every step by step to build this application. And by the end of the series, you'll not only have the final product, but you'll be able to adjust it and customize it to your team's needs. Before we get started with building, let's use this lesson to talk about what we're building, the problems that we're solving, and how we're breaking down our users within this application and their related permissions to ensure that each user in the application can only see and access the data that we want them to access. So as an inventory management application, we're going to be building systems to view inventory, to view recent sales, to purchase new purchase orders that brings in new inventory into your warehouse, to add and manage suppliers, to see who you're ordering parts from. And all of that comes together to create a really rich inventory management experience. And in our application, we'll have two main user groups. We'll have the warehouse manager who will act as the app admin. They'll have full access to the application, can create and update everything. They'll also be able to invite sales managers to join them. And then we'll have sales managers, which will be able to see the full sales process, but won't be able to do other key aspects in the application. And I'm going to break down both of those roles for you in more detail just in a couple of seconds. But first, I want to talk to you about a technical term called CRUD. CRUD stands for 4 different things. The C stands for creating new data. The R stands for reading or viewing data. The U stands for updating or editing data. And finally, the D stands for deleting data. And we're going to use CRUD permissions within our application to decide which of our users, the warehouse manager and the sales manager, can access each part of the application in a CRUD capability. So if we look over at our breakdown here, we can see what each role can do. So for our sales managers, they'll be able to securely log into the portal. They'll be able to view inventory data, but they can only read that data. They can't create new inventory, as we discussed previously. We'll also allow them to view all the recent purchase orders and supplier information should they need to reference back any of that. But again, it's only read. They can't create new suppliers. They can't create new purchase orders. We'll allow them to view and manage sales orders along with the full CRUD permissions. So create, read, update, and delete. As the sales manager, we'll allow them to control the sales process. Also, we'll show them graphs that relate to revenue and reporting in a read-only capacity. So those are the permissions that anybody that falls within the sales manager user group will have access to in our application. Now, our warehouse managers are essentially our app admins. Whenever you add new sales managers to your team, the warehouse manager can add them to the application, so they control the app-wide admin functionality. In addition to that, they can create and manage purchase orders. So this is where they go in and they manage the supply of the inventory. They can view and manage supplier information. So they'll manage the supplier list. They'll create new suppliers or even remove some suppliers depending on the influx of the suppliers and how that goes. We'll give them full access to the inventory dashboard, including revenue, order stats, and even specific graphs just for warehouse managers, showing the team member performance and how much each sales manager is bringing in from his sales volume. So maybe sensitive graphs that you don't want your sales manager to see. With user-based permissions in Softr, we make it really easy to show only the data that is relevant to each of the users that are logged in. Finally, we'll allow them to create, update sales orders just like the sales manager because they're an app admin. They're able to get in there and do that. And then, of course, delete any outdated or incorrect data across the entire application. So generally, our warehouse managers have the full CRUD access, and the sales managers have limited CRUD access. But when it comes to actual sales-related activity, they have full CRUD access. So that's a breakdown of our 2 user groups, our sales managers and our warehouse managers, the permissions that they'll be able to do within this application. In the next lesson, I'll show you how to structure your database with these 2 user groups in mind. And then beyond that, it'll be really easy once we get into Softr to implement the visibility rules needed with these user groups to ensure users that are logged in can only see the data that they have access to and take actions that they have access to. So keeping your data safe and important, it's a really big part of Softr. We do it really well and make it really easy on you. Now that we understand the main users that are using this application, the problems that this application will be solving, we're ready to start structuring our database in the next lesson. So I'll see you there.